Hey, welcome back to third season cooking, folks. Hope you're doing fine. Here we are in Winnipeg, 33, 34 degrees. Lottie, that's hot. For my friends that speak Fahrenheit, that's in the neighborhood of 90 degrees, because 28 is 32. So, woohoo, it's sparky hot here. Tonight we're enjoying tonight is kind of bright out, tonight a Portuguese wine, Patro Cancela, or however you say it, and with a Portuguese inflection. I don't know. But it's lovely, and I'm enjoying a little bit of red wine with chorizo sausage. Not quite. This is my chorizo sausage recipe, and what I'm doing with it is I'm making it into a chorizo sausage gyro type wrap. I've split this up into 3 different sections. This is the section where I roll out the sausage meat once I've made it. So you need I use 2 pieces of parchment paper, and I spread it out a bit with my hands like that. And then I just take you may have noticed I only have 1 rolling pin, and it's a broken marble one that I think has been either in my wife's household or mine for, I'm going to guess, between 25 and, well, certainly 25 years, because that's how long we've been together. But probably closer to 30 or 35 years. And all you do with this is you just spread it out till it's really, really thin. You may have seen there are, I don't want to call them viral recipes. I think maybe they are, I don't know. Came across my feed. A recipe on how to make oven-based gyros, and it turned out really well. And then I sort of made oven-based shawarma. That was really yummy. And then I decided to take a hamburger recipe and make oven-based caramelized onion recipe wrap meat. Wow, it's super easy. Notice how fast this comes along. This probably took me about 1.5 minutes or so, I'm guessing. When I timed it earlier this week, that's about how long it takes. And all you do with this is roll it up. Now, I'm not going to pop this into the oven because I have one going in the oven right now. So I'm going to show you the finished product in somewhere between 5 and 10 minutes, depending how long it takes me to do this. This is the spice mix for the chorizo. I'm going to have to read this off. That is 1 teaspoon of cumin. I didn't add any chipotle powder to it, but you certainly can. Or you want to add chili flakes, something else to spice it up, you can, to make it hotter, you can. We have a tablespoon of dehydrated onion. We have 4 tablespoons of smoked paprika. We have a teaspoon of oregano. We have a tablespoon of brown sugar, teaspoon of salt, half teaspoon of black pepper, and a teaspoon of garlic powder there in the center. So that's the dry spice mix. To this, we're going to add a pound of ground pork. So Freshco, one of the national grocery chains here in Canada, had a sale on this week of $4 a pound, $3.99 a pound for ground pork. Sweet deal. Then I went in to buy blueberries that were on sale for $4.44 a pound, for a 2-pound pack. I'm giving you these prices to say, when you're shopping around, think about what it is you want to buy. And from where. You may not have the time that I do to go shopping in multiple locations multiple times a week, but if you plan ahead, you might be able to save yourself some time and money by going to buy these different items at different stores. Now, I got lucky because they also had this ground pork, about 6 packages or so at 50% off. So I bought the 2, knowing that I wanted to make this video, and that I would do so using this ground pork. Now you can buy pork butt, pork shoulder, whatever you want to, and grind it up yourself. But in my kitchen, I tend to go, much as I like doing that, you don't need to. To this, we're adding 2 tablespoons of water, and then we're going to add 2 tablespoons of balsamic vinegar. This is just, your basic Costco vinegar. And then we add that. And together, let's get all that last goodness. Should have done the vinegar first, then the water. That way we would have cleaned out the measuring container with the water. But that's not how we did it. Smooth this up here again. And so all you're going to do is just very gently incorporate all the spices, all the vinegar, and the water into your ground pork mix. Now, the reason I need to break this up into 3 is it is best if you can leave this chorizo sausage mix to rest for a while. So I let this, the one that's coming out of the oven in just a couple minutes, I let that rest for about an hour and a half this afternoon before making this. Leave it till tomorrow. Leave it overnight if you can. That's great. If you can't, use it right away. But you'll see what happens is your ground pork, because of all that smoked paprika, takes on a very nice red hue. Very, very flavorful. Now, because I don't use any hot, spicy stuff in here, it's pretty sweet in the way you would describe a sausage as sweet. But it is very flavorful. And so you can do it however you want to. If you want to tart it up with some more chili seasoning or spicier stuff, feel free to do that. Okay? So once this is all mixed up like this, we're going to put it off to the side. That ding, ding, dinging you're hearing is the first one. So I rolled one up in front of you. I mixed one up here to do it. And this is going to be the cooked one. We go over to the oven. And we pull out the pan. We can see that it looks something like this. Now what I do, because I like to have minimal cleanup, is I put a couple little flashes of aluminum foil down. And what that does is it minimizes how much actual effort I need to do in the cleanup. And what you can do with this, there's a couple of different ways of finally preparing this. One is just nom nom nom, eat the thin meat. The other one I've seen is you can cook it you can fry it up once it's at this point. You can do whatever your little heart desires in terms of the way you want to do it. Now, I'm going, normally I would just do this in the pan, but I want to use this pan to cook the next batch. I'm going to try and do this without burning myself. And as we roll this out, you can see where you end up with all this lovely, lovely, thin cooked chorizo meat. Now, whether you're doing this with chorizo or you're doing this with lamb and beef Euro mix, or whether you're doing this with ground chicken or ground turkey for chorizo or for shawarma, you end up with all this lovely, really thin and sometimes really crispy chorizo sausage. And so you can pan fry this up with some eggs for breakfast. You can have some flatbread if you have. You can make flatbreads. You can go back to the naan bread recipe I showed from Minneapolis. It was a couple years ago now. And take a look, because I got to tell you, first off, the chorizo is so good. Secondly, this way of cooking it, man, magic. The other thing you can do is just make that into patties, and now you got chorizo patties. So nommy. Lots of ways of making this stuff. If you want to see me make other kinds of wrapped meat and different recipes for meat concoctions, let me know, please, in the comments. Those comments that you can make all the time, and we'll do it. I'll show you how to do different things. I started doing this, I think I saw the first one, I don't know, about 6 months ago. So I've been practicing with different types of stuff for about 6 months, and it's really good stuff. Really great way to eat meat. The best part is, when you find ground meat on sale, buy it. and then either freeze it or make something like this right away, and then you can pop this into your fridge. It'll stay in the fridge for about a week or so. Pop it into the freezer. Then it'll stay as much as you want. Super nommy. So once again, third season. We're talking about our transitions in life from high school to college, college to work life. So maybe you're getting married, maybe you're getting into a relationship, maybe you're getting out of a relationship, maybe you discovered you got diabetes, hello, and you got to do things differently. So we're all in a different transition period. It's a great way to do it. So as they say, like and subscribe. Please make comments. I'd love to hear from you. Apparently all the AI things tell me to say what city you're watching from. Why would you do that? Although I'd be interested. But I know that's the AI slop. This is not AI slop. This is not AI slop. Cheers. Thanks for coming by. Hope you enjoy the third season cooking. Check out some of the other recipes and episodes, and I'll look forward to seeing you on the next one. Cheerio. Bye now.